Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. The Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has scheduled Wednesday for the announcement of its verdict on the case filed by the All Progressives Congress contesting NNPP's Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's victory. This decision was communicated to all relevant parties through hearing notice, as reported by the Daily Trust. Barrister Bashir Tudun-Wuzirichi, the secretary of the NNPP's legal team, confirmed the date, expressing confidence that the petition will be dismissed with penalties. He also hoped that the tribunal will align its decision with that of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, citing similarities in the cases. However, Shehu Megari, the deputy chairman of the APC in Kano, anticipated a favorable judgment also based on the documented evidence they had submitted to the tribunal. The expectation surrounding the judgment has stirred excitement in the state, leading both parties to organize prayers seeking intervention. Additionally, a commissioner was even dismissed for making threats against the tribunal judges if they did not deliver a favorable judgment. We are now joined virtually by the Bureau Chief of Daily Trust in Kano State, Clement Olayode, to give more updates on the situation ahead of the tribunal verdict. Good to have you again on the program, Clement. Yes, how are you? How is the atmosphere in Kano this evening?
We are fine, and we are all getting ready for tomorrow. The atmosphere in the state is already suggesting that people are excited. I'm using the word excited both positively and negatively now. Some are excited, those that have direct impact. Those that the judgment will have direct impact on them are excited to see how the judgment will go. And the average residents are just excited to see how this will pan out and the aftermath of it. Looking at how politics is very, very intense in Kano, and it's something that it's been a long time coming since even before the election. It's one of the most favorably contested election in Nigeria history recently. So the expectation is very high, and I can say everyone is waiting for the next few hours to see what will happen in Kano.
Now it is coming up tomorrow. How did you monitor the deployment of security? Let's start from there.
Okay, yeah, thank you. As early as 8 o'clock or even 7:30 this morning, I've seen that police security personnel have been deployed to some strategic places. I will mention one or two that I personally confirmed. The INEC headquarters in Kano State, that is situated around the Ash Camp area. As early as 7:30 this morning, a police van has been stationed there, and with some personnel there. The same thing along the Babangwari axis. Is not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Go ahead. Very well.
Yes. Okay. So also at some other strategic places, the security personnel have been deployed, and I haven't noticed this because yesterday this was not there. So instinctively, as a journalist, I reached out to the police and asked them that, okay, what is the situation on ground? What is the security preparedness? We've been saying some deployment, and the police confirmed to me that actually the deployment is part of their security measures for the tribunal verdict on Wednesday, and that is just some that we could see with our eyes that they've deployed some of their personnel on Mufti that are moving around the town to ensure that everything is going on smoothly. And they've also told me that there will be, just as the tours during the adoption of final written address, that there will be cordoning off the axis that leads to the tribunal. That's on Miller Road in Bombay. And what we are told is that those that do not have any direct role to play at the tribunal will not be allowed access to those roads, because the fear is that with much crowd, it will become difficult to secure the area. Also, the police told me that before this period, that there is an existing ban on protest, existing ban on public possession as regards to this tribunal, that the ban is still subsistent, the ban is still on, and as such, they will be reaching out to all the political leaders as they may having good communication that before, during, and after the tribunal verdict tomorrow, there will be no form of possession, no form of whether in protest or in celebration. There will be no police will not allow any of such, so as not to allow a breakdown in law and order. I think these and a few other some of the steps that security people have taken. I know before the end of the day, the police told me that a formal statement will be issued to guide residents on what to expect tomorrow. But in all, what the police have said is that Kano residents have nothing to worry. That everybody is expected to go about their normal business activities. You know, don't forget something. Kano is a commercial city,
exactly,
and as much as politics play a very important role in the life of the people, the commerce activity play a much more important role. So it's difficult to expect that it's not reasonable to think that because this is happening, people will close their shops. Of course, there are fears around, but the police are assuring people that no, politics is one side, the verdict will come and go. People should go about their business, open your shops, sell, we will protect you. Nobody will be allowed to vandalize anything in the mood of celebration or in the mood of protest. So far, that is what the police have said. And like I said, I'm expecting the next 1 hour or 2 hours, there will be an official statement from the police. They've told me a few minutes ago that they are preparing the statement, and the Commissioner of Police will brief the people either formally or through the statement as the case may be.
And what is the countenance of residents? Is there a panic buying, considering that some roads will be blocked and all that? Have you noticed, or your staff there, have they noticed unusual buying, especially of basic things like food, groceries and all that?
It's difficult to say whether people are buying panically or not, because the markets are always often full to capacity, and that is the same situation we have some of the markets today. But answering your question on the mood of the people, there's actually some sense of apprehension among some of the residents. I spoke with some people earlier this morning and some late yesterday when we got the information, and they've already told me that no, there is nothing that will make them release their children on Wednesday to go to school, that they will rather keep their children with them at home to monitor the situation. These are some of the examples. Some even said that they will not be opening their shops on Wednesday. They will observe and see what is happening. So at the market, it's expected maybe a few people will go to the market and say, okay, maybe there might be some issues here and there, and access to the market may be difficult. So maybe because of that, some people may go to the market and buy 1 or 2 things that will last for a few days. But in all, I think if going by the kind of security that we experienced during the election proper, I think the security personnel should be able to secure the state the way they did during the election. Because after the election, even though the day after the declaration, there are some pockets of celebratory protests here and there, but Kano being Kano, a few hours later, everything goes back to normal and people go about their business. So while we can't outrightly rule out panic buying in some of the markets, but I don't think people are much agitated to that extent. People are just worried, okay, way or the other, this thing is going to pan out, and whoever wins or whoever loses might want to do 1 or 2 things, but the security have assured that nothing will happen, and people are going by the experience they are during the election, and they say, okay, they are putting their faith in what the police have been doing and what they will continue to do.
And what makes the case in Kano so special? We have these tribunals in many states, but the discussion around Kano has been there for weeks. What is so special about the governorship tribunal in Kano as a reporter?
Without prejudice to any other states in the state and in the country, I think over the years, everybody have known Kano to be more or less like a melting point of Nigeria's political system. if KANO sneezes, almost the entire country catches the cold. So, just like 2019, the election in KANO is keenly contested among the two major political gladiators. In 2019, we have the then incumbent governor going toe-to-toe with his former boss, his former boss, if I can use the word, that's Rabi Musa Konkoso. And it was towards the last minute, we all could still remember the intrigues that happened in the 2019 election. So the opposition party, then the opposition was now the ruling party, the NNPP, came into this election with that mentality that this election, without using the word, they never used the word do or die, but it's more or less like saying that, okay, this election, we must make our votes count and we will not allow anybody to rig us out of the election. The APC also came with that mentality that, no, we are not going to allow you to browbeat or to use your populist agenda to make it look as if you are the only one in Kano State. People love us, some people agree with our policies, and they all came into this election with that mentality, and we could see that it was really very keenly contested. If you compare the presidential election in Kano with the state governorship election, you could see the margin is far, far different, because these are two local strong politicians. Of course, on the ballot paper, it might be for the APC, Nasiru Gawuna was the one on the ballot paper. For the NNPP, it's Abba Kamil Yusuf that was on the ballot paper. But behind the scene, and even on the scene, everybody could see that, okay, this is a contest between two former governors of the state. That's the current national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullah Umar Ganduje, and the former governor of the state and former senator, former minister, Rabi Musa Konkoso, who is the backbone and the leader for the NNPP, while APC has Ganduje. So it was a contest between these two political gladiators. So everything leading to the election already showed that this election is going to be keenly contested. And at the end of the day, we saw the way the announcement of the election, the result, while other states were cruising to victory. In Kano, everybody agitated and waiting to see what will happen. And at the end of the day, with the issue around the margin of victory, principle of margin of victory, and the way INEC interpreted it and declared Abba Kabir Yusuf as the winner of the election, APC they were not satisfied, and expectedly they approached the tribunal. And everybody is still familiar with the process that have come along the way. Different form of protest, different form of prayers have been organized. Both sides have organized prayers, and the verdict tomorrow is more or less to see who among these two parties has the ears of God the more, or who among the parties have the ears of the judiciary more. Because both have organized prayers to God. Both have claimed that they have presented their case before the tribunal. There have even been allegations of bribery. While the tribunal said people were making overtures to them, the tribunal never mentioned which party was doing it. So there has been a edge of words between the two parties. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, Clement. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there have been an exchange of fireworks between the two parties as regards that allegation of bribery. The NNPP is claiming that, it's the APC that is making bribery attempt to the judiciary, while the APC is claiming, no, nobody said it's APC. You are trying to just represent to make your case less effective. So this is just this is a stage that has been set up for a very long period of time. That's culminated into this hour, and where we are now is the 11th hour, while tomorrow is the D-Day. So everybody, and don't forget, I mentioned something at the early point that Kano is more like the melting point of not just northern Nigerian politics, but even Nigerian politics. So everybody is interested to know what will happen in Kano.
Has anything changed?
Governed by just one.
Yes. Hello, Clement.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. Has anything changed?
I didn't catch your question.
Okay. Yes. Has anything changed from the time when one of the tribunal justices made allegation that there was an overtures, from a certain group in the state to influence their judgment? From the center, in Abuja, have they changed the judges there, or they are still the ones presiding over these things?
Nothing of such has happened. In fact, thank you for the question. The chairman of the panel that made that allegation had been in the eye of the storm because of that panel had issued judgment in tribunal that has made it clear that it's not just one party that may probably be reaching out. What do I mean by this? Judgment from that panel has favored both NNPP and has favored both APC. The tribunal has sacked, that same panel of tribunal has sacked an NNPP House of Rep member. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would be the House of Rep member for either Kumboso or even Madobi and Garumalan Federal Constituency. And the same as that panel also has affirmed several elections conducted that have been doing. So the tribunal has, to a very large extent, has proven itself. It has dealt with the matter before it as presented. It has not told towards one line for you to say, okay, no, it's just giving judgment in favor of A and against B. The tribunal has done this. But like the last time I came on the show, I made the effort to clarify that while the allegation sounds as if it's coming from the entire tribunal, no. The allegation came from just a panel hearing the National and State House of Assembly petition elections.
Okay.
While the one we are doing tomorrow, the judgment that we're expecting tomorrow, is from the Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal.
Okay.
No such allegation has been made from that.
Okay.
From that tribunal.
Okay.
In fact, the last hearing date, there was a very friendly exchanges between all the parties, among all the parties that appeared before the tribunal, and even the tribunal members. Both the chairman is from, I think she's from Ondo State Judiciary, Justice Osadebe, and she with other two panel members. So the allegations, while is more or less rubbing off on the entire tribunal, did not emanate from the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. So, but you know, where if something affects A, sometimes Nigerian officers on everyone.
Okay, what about the outcome of the threat issued by a certain commissioner that if the judges do not do what they expect, death is their warrant, right? Or something like that.
Yes.
Yes. Has his sacking in any way changed the mood in the other camp, especially APC? Have they changed? You know, they have been firing from both silencers that something is going to happen in Kano and all that. Have they changed the tone of their discussion now?
Yeah, I think the governor, without singing his praises, was very effective with the action it took in the aftermath of that trending video that showed the commissioner making those unguarded statements. And to a very large extent, I think the action taken by the governor has put the APC on a very a calm posture. He said that even when the pressure was mounting on the government, it was not coming from the APC. It was actually coming from parties that are not, I'm talking of parties like the Nigerian Bar Association. These are non-political associations. We're talking of civil society organizations that have not been known to take any part. So these are the people that have been driving the message to say that, okay, no, this cannot be allowed to go on. And I spoke with some of our sources in the APC. They were also, without really coming out to praise the governor, they were surprised and happy that the governor will sacrifice one of his strong cabinet members, because those that know the way state administrations are done, the commissioner for land in a state is a very, very powerful commissioner. So for the governor to sacrifice him,
it's a big message. Yeah, it's a big message. Yeah. Okay, now.
So I think the government, yes, the governor's action has kind of put a lid to that aspect of a threat. Of course, there will still be one pocket here and there, but the governor has already made it clear that such will not be tolerated by his government, and any of his associates that is found to be doing this, if he can sack his commissioner for lands, who are you that he will not be able to dismiss you appropriately? And people have even gone a step further. The MB has gone a step further to say, aside the sack, aside this dismissal, police and other security agents should look into this and look towards prosecuting those that have been fingered in this.
Okay. Now, maybe we should move to the specifics, because I'm sure our viewers would like to know what are the issues at stake. What are the prayers of both parties, NNPP and APC? What are their prayers at the tribunal? Without prejudice to the outcome, of course.
Of course. There are just three major prayers by the APC. I think I should be able to remember one or two of them. The first is that APC is claiming that the Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, was not a member of the NNPP as of the time he was presented as the candidate of the party.
Okay.
That is the first major issue. And this is one of the things that the NNPP supporters are celebrating and saying, okay, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has already answered this question in one way or the other. So they're expecting the tribunal to follow that part. The second issue that the APC raised is about electoral, they claim for that electoral malpractices happened in some polling unit, and that that INEC did not follow its own electoral principles. They cited several polling units that said that the election result paper that came in from those polling units and local government were not stamped, were not signed, were not dated. It's some of those intricacies that makes a ballot paper not to be tenderable. And their claim is that if they tally all the polling units involved, the results involved in this polling unit, and minus it from the result of the NNPP candidate, it will automatically mean that NNPP lost the election and APC won the election. But the NNPP is claiming that, okay, this also has been decided one way or the other by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, in the sense that, if you remember clearly, the PEP's Presidential Election Petition Tribunal decided that, okay, if we are making this claim, then you must tender evidence from all the polling units involved in this. NNPP is claiming that such has not been done, that the APC only selected some polling units. I think this is just two. I think there are three. Well, off my head, I can't remember the third one now. But before we finish, it will come back to me. But these are the two major things. And this is the argument of the NNPP is now claiming, okay, since this has been decided at the federal level, at the Court of Appeal, where we are even going to take our, where we are going to take an appeal to, if it has been decided yet, the tribunal has no other reason than to dismiss this case, dismiss the petition with cost. But the APC is saying that no, we have tendered all the evidence that is needed to prove this case, and with that, they are claiming that they should get the favorable judgment at the tribunal tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Clement, for this giving a clear picture of what's happening in Kano and what is about to happen tomorrow. We thank you for coming to the program via Zoom.
Thank you.
And make sure you remain very safe as you cover
and just keep us in prayers in Kano, and we pray everything goes out well tomorrow.
Thank you very much. That was Clement Oloyede, our Bureau Chief in Kano, with a rundown of what's happening and what's about to happen in Kano. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation with a different guest commences. Don't go away.